Hi, welcome back to another video from Kel & Co. Thank you for joining me here today, and thank you for everyone who has liked and subscribed. Quick recap, we're a family of 5 living in Australia. It's myself, my partner and our 3 children, and we're trying to pay off around $25,000 worth of vehicle loan debt and credit card debt. If you've watched the previous videos, you would know that we've just come into a job change, which means quite a major income change for the next few weeks. So this is going to be one of the first sort of looks at how that's really going to affect the budget. Now, I'm sorry, I'm a bit sick at the moment. I went to the doctor the other day and they said I've got, is it pharyngitis? But I'm waiting for that lovely test result to come back to make sure it's not the dreaded virus. So I'm feeling a bit lousy. My throat is quite sore and I've got quite a bad fever, so sort of having the sweats on and off. So look, let's just jump straight into it. So we'll come to our most recent budget here that we're just, today is the last day of it, so I can sort of close it out because I know where it's going to be at, because on Wednesdays we generally don't have any bills coming out. So we can see here we've had just all the standard things. The school fees I had written in there to remind myself, but I had paid that earlier in February because I just knew it was going to be a crazy time towards the end of the month, so I wanted to pay that and get it out of the way. We had a pretty high water bill. That's because in that period of the water bills when we got our spa, so we had to fill that up. I think that was like 1,000 litres. And then our lawn, it's summertime here in Australia, we've been putting a lot of water on the lawn to keep it nice for the kids. So I had a credit card payment which we had sort of put over 2 budget periods, so being that it's the last week, had to get that one done. There was a doctor's, now that was actually for the baby. Poor thing has a horrible gunky eye, so I had a phone doctor's consult, telehealth I think they're called here, but you still have to pay for it. She didn't even want to give him any eye drops for his eye, so the poor thing, it's still quite horrible and looks really sore. Then as well, I had written down on our calendar that SGIC, this $64 would only be coming out in the next budget, but it's always tricky because I don't know the exact dates they come out, and it changes because then obviously if the date's ever been like a Saturday or a Sunday, quiet, it gets shifted around, so it's really hard to gauge. But you know, lucky I always keep generally a bit of rollover money, so we were able to absorb it this budget, and it's not excuse me, made a major problem. And then I totally forgot that Netflix, even though I had it written down, because the budget goes over like the end of February, the beginning of March, obviously I didn't flick through and look at the first 2 days of March where it was sitting, so that caught me out. We logged on the other night to watch something and it was like, you haven't paid your bill, and I was like, oh whoops. So got that sorted. We had our standard $150 for groceries like usual, and then I always just like to round down what I'm going to roll over, so nothing in sinking funds, and I put $44 extra to credit card too. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I put it to credit card, that first one that we're really close to paying off? This is the next thing I really want to show you. So we sat down and we've had a little bit of money tucked away in savings that was from, I think maybe like our tax return, and I like to just have the money sitting in the account just in case. But I said to my partner, like, maybe now's the time we actually have to just stop sitting on this money and do something with it. So I want to show you this because February had an extra page I was able to utilize. So let me just zoom you in. Okay, so we had about $4,000 just over in savings, And then I'm still waiting for my partner's long service leave to get paid out. They've just, he emailed them the other day to say, like, when is it going to get paid out? And they're just waiting on his previous employer to put through all the long service leave, because it's not something that they have to do each, like, pay. I think they can do it monthly or quarterly. So we're sort of stuck waiting on that. But then we'll have $8,000 there. So I decided I wanted to top up the emergency fund, get it to the 1,000. So that's what we needed to do that. So we're going to use it, get our emergency fund to $1,000, and then that's going to be like our backup money. And then we decided, let's just pay off that credit card. There's not much left on it. Let's get rid of it. It's just one payment out of our hair. And then let's get rid of this loan on the Colorado, because like I'd said, we're looking at getting another car now that he doesn't need a utility for work. We're going to get something smaller that's cheaper on fuel, cheaper on insurance, and just like a better all-round car, like a bit newer. So we're actually going to pay that out, and then we're literally going to swap the Colorado for a car that's only 4 years old, where this one is like now 12 years old or something. So we're getting a newer car, and we're not going to have to pay anything, and it will have no finance on it. So that's going to be good. It was a scary thing for me to do, to obviously, you know, realize we can't just sit on the money forever. We've got to do something with it. At least, you know, we're putting the money into the emergency fund, so we'll no longer be working towards getting that up to 1,000. And so we might shift over now and start putting just little bits amount of money in to build up that 3-month emergency fund, the bigger one, where I think I wanted to save up about $5,000, $4,000. I'll have to look back in my notes to see exactly what I wanted to do there. But this is our plan. So we have paid off that credit card. We got the letter in the mail yesterday to say, yep, the account's closed, it's gone, destroy your card. So that's really good. We can start working on the other credit card now. And then once this long service leave money comes through, we'll be able to pay off that Colorado loan, and it's just one less thing that we have to worry about each week. Now, if we jump over here and have a look at what we've got coming up for this next week. This is the first one, and I think we sort of touched on it briefly last video, but this is the one that's really affected by the wage drop down. And now, because I was sick this week, I wasn't able to go in to do a keep in touch day yesterday, so I had hoped to do a few more days and really boost up the money for the next week, but that's not going to be the case now. So it will only be the one day I did last week. So here's that pesky SGIC that came through earlier than anticipated, so at least we don't have to worry about that, and that sort of makes up the difference between that. So that's good. I'm feeling comfortable there. We're going to pull out the money in the redraw to use towards paying the bills. So it's all just the standard bills, nothing extra. Hopefully we won't need any like doctor's visits or anything like that, just because we don't have a medical sort of sinking fund or envelope or anything like that. Like I've said previously, I find it really hard here in Australia to have cash envelopes for things like that. So groceries are $150, but I'm really going to try and keep that as low as I can, but I know we're going to probably need nappies and wipes for the baby, so that's always just one of those things. And then I've got nothing else on the other side here, so it's all just about getting by this budget week. So if we can get by there, I'm anticipating, you know, potentially there will be no rollover at all. So coming into the next week, And sorry, this one's in pencil because I'm not yet decided what I want to do now that we're both on a fortnightly pay structure, whether I want to run a fortnightly budget or what. Just because, like, generally week to week we have a lot of bills that come out, so doing it fortnightly, I'm just sort of worried like it might be too much happening in there. And I finally with rent, we finally got the quote to fix the water pump, so that's going to be just under $700. So depending on when that work gets carried out, for the rest of March potentially will not see any rent coming in, so I'm going to budget $0 for that for the month. But you can see here it brings us in with my partner's wage, my keep in touch days, and then my Centrelink 18-week paid parental leave money. That gives us quite a nice amount there, almost $3,000. So that's just all the standard bills that we have week to week: car loans, mortgages, childcare costs, that sort of thing. That brings us in to there. Now, hoping that if that long service leaves comes through, we'll get rid of the two $50 amounts, which that's the Colorado car loan. But we've still got $939 left over. So would be $300 for groceries because we budget $150 per week, so $300 for a fortnight, $100 for fuel, $20 for house because we still need those light globes in our kitchens. 3 have blown now. There's only 1 little light left and it's pretty dark in there. And then I did think I need to start just putting something away into one of the somewhere for medical, just to cover, like, you know, you never know when one of the kids is going to get sick. You can't anticipate that happening. You can see obviously I'd written this up too before paying that emergency fund, topping it up, so I might pick another one to work towards, whether it be Christmas, or I'll have to have a look to see what I've got, because I had a few, but I've rolled all the birthdays just into one. I opened up a bank account just to have like birthdays and Christmas all in there. Back to school, maybe I'll put the 100 in back to school because we haven't put some money in there for a while, and I'm trying to save up to pay for next year's school fees in full again. And again, credit card 1 is gone now, so all of that can be used for credit card 2, which will help bring that down a lot quicker. But that leaves us with a $0 left over. Obviously, I will rejig once I work out whether I want to do weekly or fortnightly. But yeah, you can see this is going to be the first real budget here that's really going to sort of living on the dregs here of what we can scrounge together, you know, to get everything paid and make sure we've got food in the house for everybody. If we come back and look at my meal plan here, just quickly. So if we say that was the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So the spaghetti that I made on Monday night, like I have said previously, I make my own sauce. So it's just, it probably doesn't work out cheaper, but I guess for the quantity that it makes, it would. So I used just a plain Audi passata, and then I put in whatever veg I've got here at home and whatever I've got in the freezer. So we usually have frozen spinach, which I'll chuck in, a can of tomatoes on top of the passata sauce. We always have carrots, and this week we bought a zucchini and some mushrooms, so there was zucchini and mushroom in there. Because it makes such a large amount of sauce, it always stretches the leftovers out heaps. So we had leftovers last night, and we've actually got enough for me and my partner to have it again for dinner tonight, and the kids can just pick something out of the pantry. So, you know, they love having baked beans, or like Easy Mac, but they've had pasta now for the last 2 nights, so I might try and sway them towards the baked beans. They have baked beans and toast, which they really like. So then that pushes us out to that next budget period. We do have quite a bit of food in the freezer, so I'm going to have a look through there today to see what we've got, work out my meal plan. I know that we've got sausages in there, we've got potatoes in the pantry, so I can make a curried sausage meal one night for tea, and that again we can usually push over the 2 nights if we bulk out that mashed potato, use a lot more. I know the potatoes are going to be on the tail end, so they'll probably need to get used, so if we make a big batch of mashed potato, that'll definitely push us through then till the weekend. We also found out on Monday that our eldest, who goes to school, is a classroom contact, so she can continue going to school. We have to monitor her daily for symptoms, so everyone gets a temperature check in the morning before they leave for like childcare work, wherever they're going now at the moment. I'm not going anywhere, 1 because I'm sick, and 2 because me and the baby just generally, we don't go anywhere. We stay here at home. It's just not worth going out. But so that's means we won't be able to go to dance class Saturday morning, so she's going to be disappointed when I have to tell her about that. I haven't broken the news to her yet. She always gets stickers there when she's finished the class, which she puts on her sticker reward chart here at home. So she'll be sad that she won't get stickers to help fill her chart up. Excuse me, just having a drink. And I haven't really thought too much more into the meal plan for the next week. I usually do that in my little planner. I just find it easier because I can jot down a lot of ideas there. So on the to-do list today, I need to sit down and do the like where did my money go category. Food, I had budgeted in $900, like is what, just looking at what we spent in January, but in January we've been away a lot, so I know that it's a lot less because we have only spent that $150 each week. And the car, again, we've not had to buy that much fuel now with the job change. We're just not going through it as much. So I'm going to sit down and do this today, and maybe that can be another video where we have a look at that, see how we did, and we'll go from there. But yeah, scary and exciting times. Thanks to everyone for joining me along the way. Your words of encouragement really mean a lot, and it's nice to know that I guess sort of feel like you're not going through the journey alone when you've got support out there of people who are like-minded in a way. So thank you again for everybody. If you haven't subscribed, if you'd like to do that so you can keep up to date with all the things that are happening, because yeah, who knows how we're going to go. This new job, like I've said, is a commission base, so it's, you know, base salary and then a commission on top of that. So, you know, we could be living on pennies sort of thing each fortnight, or depending on how he goes at work with what he's selling, we could potentially be able to smash out some major goals in the next few months. So thanks again. Thank you for spending your time with me. I'm sorry if you've heard the baby crying in the background towards the middle and end of the video. So I'm going to head off now, go sort him out, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.